Ladies and gentlemen, it's New Comic Book Day, my first ever YouTube comic book vlog. And before I hop into today's episode, let me break down how these videos are gonna go in the future. I'm just gonna be showing you guys what I've got this past week, collectibles, comic books, anything like that. It could really be anything. In the second part, I'm going to be rating the last week's comic books. I'm showing you guys my top 3 favorites of them and what I just thought of each book. And then finally, we'll go over every single one of these new comic books and show you what I'm most hyped for, what I'm most anticipated for. Let's get into the video. First up, what I've bought this past week. First up, this CW Flash Reverse Flash figure. Now, I really even never knew they made these. Apparently, they made an entire wave, a Captain Cold, Heat Wave, Reverse Flash, and Flash. My dad found this at a collectible store. It was actually clearance because inside the figure, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is actually broken, so I'm gonna leave it in the box. Cool collectible though. And I did get a few trading cards. Let's hop in. They're all Star Wars. This first one is a like color by number drawing. I don't even know what it is. Second is this holographic Darth Maul, then a same different holographic Kylo Ren, and then a base Anakin Skywalker card. My favorite Star Wars character of all time. I know this is completely random, but I got the display case for the Darth Maul's ship and a Droideka. I'm gonna hold on to this because these things are insanely rare and valuable. Why not just hold on to this for a while, and if I want to sell it, it's going to be worth a lot. At first I was going to take them out, but I was like, dude, they're all glued together. There's no point in taking them out. So I like the display case anyways. Just so random, I love it. And the last thing I picked up throughout this last week were 2 trades. They're both found at Ollie's. Go to Ollie's, guys, if you want some really discounted comic books. They carry graphic novels, they carry certain action figures that don't sell well. So I got like a bunch of different ones from Ollie's. They're all like $5. Like these 2 books I think were $10, but like each, or not each, all together. But this first one is a New 52 Joker run. It's Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, my favorite comic book creative duo in comic book history. I just love their New 52 stuff, everything with Batman. And I didn't even know they made a Joker run, so I bought it. And then second up is this hardcover of Rorschach. It is a DC Black Label. I love DC Black Label books. And Rorschach is actually one of my favorite characters of all time. I loved Watchmen. He's really like the reason I started getting into Watchmen. I read it and he's just great. And this is actually takes place 35 years after the ending of Watchmen. So I'm not gonna spoil that for you guys. So I'm really excited to see what Tom King does with the character. I love him. The artwork style looks amazing. It's gonna be a good read. And the last thing we're gonna do before I go over this week's comic books is our last week's books. I'm just gonna go through them quickly, review them, see if any really stood out to me. I've actually been really liking the new ASM storyline with Norman Osborn taking over for Peter and Ben Reilly coming back. It's a really just overall cool experience that is going back to some of Spider-Man's original characters that I think it was straying away from, which is the reason that the Spider-Man run was kind of sucking in the first place. So them coming back to some OG characters and twisting it in some kind of new way has been really amazing. Absolute Flash issue 7 last week was amazing. This is my least favorite, honestly, this is my least favorite Absolute title. It's still a good book, but all the other ones have just been killing it a lot more. And this issue is really like a breakout. It is the final issue of a certain arc. We see Weather Wizard at the end, and we see how really powerful Wally can be. He literally just punched Weather Wizard one time, and he was out. Nightwing 130 was, it was all right. Batman Deadpool issue 1, the Marvel DC crossover, very anticipated. And I think it kind of cooked. It showed how really powerful Deadpool can be. And against characters you really haven't seen, but it also shows just how smart Batman is. It's just a good book. Also, the Wonder Woman and Captain America story was by far my favorite in this book, no doubt, because it is so like whatever happened in this book between Wonder Woman and Captain America, it could have happened. Like if they were both in the same universe, that was definitely their destiny, like for sure. Everybody knew that. So great to see it in a comic book. Exquisite Corpses number 5. My favorite book on shelves. I think just in general, Image has been putting out some bangers week after week, and Exquisite Corpses I think is the best out of all of them. Again, if you haven't heard of this, it's basically kind of like Hunger Games, but even more messed up. Really good book, and it is just really trying something new here in the Image universe. Last book I'm going to be reviewing about last week is the New Avengers issue 4. Now, this series is actually kind of blowing me out the water. I really didn't have high expectations for it, but it's been amazing. The Illuminati like idea, it's just an insane, great idea. I think it works very well in comic books, and it represents how good but not great the New Avengers are. I mean, I don't really have much words for it. You need to pick this up. And alrighty, what you guys have been waiting for, our fat stack of new comic books. I think this is the biggest new comic book day I think I've ever had. A lot of great series, and I think a number 1 in here. Let's check these out. My only book for Image this week is Void Rivals issue 23. Now, Void Rivals has been month after month. This and Exquisite Corpses has just been blowing me out the water on how good Robert Kirkman is. I know he didn't write Exquisite Corpses. I'm just saying for this book, he's writer of Invincible. He is an insane world builder in Invincible, and he is doing the exact same with Void Rivals. That's something I really value in comic books, is how well the writer's able to immerse the reader in the world they're making. And Robert Kirkman is undisputed the GOAT about that. Like, it's insane how he can immerse you. But Void Rivals has been easily one of my favorite books on shelves, and I have such high expectations, and they've just been meeting them every month. I've got this really nice Dan Mora Superman issue 30 variant. I've been getting back into Superman. Ever since the Superman movie, I've been trying to pick up as many Superman comics as possible, and hopping onto this run was one of the books I've been picking up. And it's all right. It's not great, but Dan Mora on art it's an instant pickup. But I love the Legion of Darkseid arc. This is issue 3, and it's been pretty good. If you look at the A cover, Booster Gold is in this issue, so I'm hyped. Then another insane, beautiful variant. We have Immortal Legend Batman issue 2. Again, like I was talking about world building for Void Rivals, in the end of the first issue of this, insane world building. I know it's an Elseworlds title, so you kind of have to world build if you want people to be immersed in it. But insane world building. I love where they're going with this. There's Immortal Legend Nightwing and Robin. Awesome, and they're kind of making Batman like kind of a bad guy in a way. So it's been pretty fun. Superman Unlimited issue 5. Issue 4 was kind of a letdown. I really liked the first 3 issues of this run, on where it's a great like offshoot of like, oh my god, what if everybody had kryptonite and Superman was just so much weaker? And it has been great. But last issue, what they did with the Superman bat, it was a little weird. It was completely off topic with the story, in my opinion. But this does look like they're back at it, so I'm very excited for this book. I also really love this art as well. Great art style. Next up, The Flash, issue 25. I picked up this Reverse Flash variant. I love the Reverse Flash. I think he's my favorite villain of all time. Probably because of Tom Cavanaugh on the CW show, but it's whatever. But on the Flash run in general, Simon Spurrier, I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of this run, man. I'm not a fan. I also am not a big fan of this art as well. Now, I know it's easier to judge writing, but art is very subjective. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. I can't really roast people for art. Just not my style. But yeah, Mark Waid is getting back on the title. I don't have much to say about this because I just am not very immersed in this. Not my favorite. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 12. Oh my god. This is the best Absolute title without a doubt. For a while now, it was between this and Absolute Batman for my favorite, and this just pulled away. This has been arc after arc. This has been amazing. Especially the Labyrinth arc, the art, the paneling by Sherman. He's the same dude that did Batman Dark Patterns. They're finishing that book up in the next few months. That's actually my favorite book on shelves right there. He does the same artwork with Absolute Wonder Woman, and you can tell that it's rubbing off because the paneling, the artwork is insane. Batman and Detective Comics. This is my first Detective Comics in a long time. I just hopped back on this run because they're kind of rebooted. They're starting up a new arc. I don't think it's written by anyone different. Yeah, I think Tom Taylor's been on this run for a while, but they're kind of just bringing out a new arc for new readers to hop on. And that's exactly what I've been wanting to do. Batman's back in the blue suit, I think. I don't know if he was in the blue suit before in the past issues with Detective Comics. But again, I really have nothing to say here because I haven't been picking it up. Justice League Unlimited 11. This is the prelude to DCKO, which we're all excited for. Now, I'm not as big on Justice League titles as everybody else. I've just never been a fan of group title comic books. Like, I'd rather have a Batman or a Superman story, or really any singular story, than a big group story where they're trying to incorporate everybody. I just don't think it works as well in comic books because you don't have enough pages for everybody. I think it works better in movies like Avengers Endgame, all that stuff. I even think Justice League, Scott Snyder's Justice League was amazing. It just works a lot better in movies than in comic books, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But it's still been all right. Again, not the greatest. For me, at least. That's my opinion. And we have a very big Marvel week here. I usually don't get many Marvel books, but let's hop in. First up, number 1 title, Ultimate Hawkeye issue 1. And yeah, I wasn't sure but this is a one-shot, so it is a start and a finish to the entire Hawkeye story, which I'm kind of sad. I really like Hawkeye. I want to read more Hawkeye, especially Ultimate Hawkeye where there's a different twist on him. But I guess not going to happen, so I hope this is really good. Really anticipated for this one. And we have Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 21. Now, don't get me wrong, one of the best books on shelves right now. But every single time this comes out each month, I'm just more and more sad because it means it's closer and closer to the end of this run. But honestly, I'm not as high on this book as everybody else. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a really good book. This is like a 9 out of 10, but everybody is praising this like it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's near perfect. I don't think it is perfect. It's a little too slow paced for me, just a little bit too slow paced. But that also might be because they're gonna try to incorporate Ultimate Spider-Man into the Ultimate Universe with every other character. So I understand if they're trying to go a little bit more slow, but again, it's just a little slow for me. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, issue 2. Last issue was really good. I love the Predator, like the Spider-Man versus Predator book. That run, like it was like 3 or 4 issues. That was amazing. These 20th Century Studios books that they've been making, they've been collaborating with especially Marvel comic books. They've just been amazing, man. You need to pick this up. The Mortal Thor issue 2. This is the first Thor single issue book I'm picking up. I picked up Jason Aaron's run, which is a lot more mythical and taps into Norse mythology a lot more. This is Thor on the streets, hence the title, The Mortal Thor. He's mortal. He's a human. But I actually thought the first issue was pretty underrated. I really liked this first issue, so I'm kind of raising my expectations for the second issue. Battle World issue 1. Now, I'll be honest, I have no clue what this is. I know what of Battle World, like what it is, like what happened in like the original Battle World arc, but I've never read it actually. I've never read the original Battlefield. This is not a video game. The Battle World arc. So I'm excited to see what this is, but I might be a little confused, honestly. I might be confused, so I don't know. Third to last book, Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 5. Oh my god. I think this is the most underrated Marvel book on shelves right now. Like by far. Andrew's on this art. This art has been amazing. It really reminds you of Marvel Rivals. So if you play that game and you want to hop into a comic run that has the same kind of art style as Marvel Rivals, this is your book, man. It's very scaled up. Everyone's huge. Everyone's buff. The actions are just a lot scaled up. And Dread Shadow, this new character right here, he looks awesome. He's fucking Auramaxing right here. Second to last book we have is Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider issue 2. First issue was amazing. It was my first ever Spider-Gwen book. First ever Ghost Spider book. And it was good. I had really nothing to compare it to, but it was really good. It reminded me a lot of Into and Across the Spider-Verse. The art style was really reminiscent of that, kind of like how they affected hues and lighting with the different colors to represent the moods that the scene is trying to portray. It does this in this book too, man. It is awesome. And finally, for the last comic book of New Comic Book Day, we have Death of the Silver Surfer issue 4. I wanted to talk a little bit about this, just about Silver Surfer in general. He is like he's been, ever since I started reading him, he's been an amazing character. He's just so much more stoic and different than anybody else. He thinks so much differently. But he's so relatable, like when nobody can ever understand this man. But all he's really trying to do is be good, but his good is so much different than anybody else's. That's why nobody understands this man. He's so stoic, he's so awesome. You can't really not you can't hate him at all, because he's just such a different but also relatable character. Sounds weird, but give this a try if you haven't read it. And that is it for New Comic Book Day of September 24th. I will see y'all next week with the New Comic Book Day. Peace out.